Hello again, it's Jamal, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit more. So, I did a little bit of analysis and I try to see a little bit of a bigger picture of what's going on uh, with Russia, Ukraine. And like I said, I really don't care what's happening over there between two corrupt governments, and I still stand by that. I really don't care. What I do care is that U.S., United Nations may still get pulled into this war. How? We're not going to go into Ukraine. That's not what's going to happen. But what we've seen is last week, I think we seen China and Russia sign a big energy agreement, and we did not put sanctions on energy, Russian energy, which I'll get back to the sanctions here in a second. But we've seen that Russia and China have signed that agreement, and Russians are still going to get the money for the energy, and they will supply China with crude oil and natural gas. Also, the China is probably going to sell some of this to European nations, if we do put sanctions on Russian energy. So they're covered. They're going to have their money no matter what. What we have is sanctions. Sanctions that are put on Russia is a joke. They're still going to be able to do most of the trading and everything else. So Putin was not put on sanctions. Only some uh, uh, Russian oligarchy that was put on sanctions. A couple of banks, but that's it. It's a joke. So how is UN going to be pulled into this? So I think, right? I mean, it's almost over in Ukraine. Russian soldiers are on outskirts of Kiev. They are doing what they're supposed to be doing, I guess. Um, After Russia takes over Kiev, we know that China wants Taiwan and all the islands around there. They have disputes with Japan over some islands. They have disputes with India over some land and whatnot. So China, we know that they want to expand. So now, as soon as Russia takes over Ukraine, puts in a puppet government, which is going to happen, then they're going to wait for China to attack Taiwan. And United Nations will have to respond to that because Taiwan, I think, has an agreement with United Nations, U.S., and we will have to respond to that. While we are responding to China and Taiwan, Russia can attack Poland. Now, can we fight two front wars against China and Russia? Something for you to think about, I guess. Um, United Nations versus the biggest military in the world and second strongest military in the world. We'll see. Now, next thing that might happen is Russia may even go deeper into Europe, and they may try to reestablish Yugoslavia back to what it was. And after the war in the 90s, which Clinton's illegally entered in Yugoslavia, there's a lot of hate for America, especially uh, between Serbs and Clintons. So Serbs are going to be all about joining the Russian Federation, which they were not part of after the World War II, all the way up to 90s until since Yugoslavia fell apart. Not a lot of people know this, but Yugoslavia was allied with the United States, not Russia, since Stalin wanted to put Russian soldiers on Serbian Yugoslavian soil. Tito said no. They kicked Yugoslavia out of all the uh, communist parties. So Tito had to look for other avenues of economy, export mostly. So entire Yugoslavian economy was built on exports. And in the 90s, when communism fell, I guess Clinton thought that strategically placed Yugoslavia was no longer needed, so they dumped them. Economy fell, war happened, and they illegally entered the war. But that's history. We can talk about history all day, I guess, and have different points of views. So they may pull Yugoslavia in there, something even Stalin wasn't able to do it. Putin's going to do it. Now, another thing that they might do is they try to destabilize this country. We're already divided as is along political parties. We seem to get more and more divided uh, by racial lines, and which is extremely sad. We shouldn't. We are all one people. We should work together to get this country back on track. And they may use our division right now and perhaps even start a civil war here if there is a civil war in the United States. Then, I mean, Russia and China, they can pretty much take over the whole world if they want to, because United States is the only power that can stop them. But we're going to have to stay united through this. How they're going to do it, I don't know. I mean, we do have some ways that we already seen that we're playing into Russian hands. I mean, freedom of speech is being controlled every day. There are certain platforms that you're not allowed to say what you want. You're not allowed to post what you want because they're gonna tell you that it is partially false or it's all false, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. That's their view, and they can say whatever the hell you want to you, but you're not allowed to say anything to them. Also, one thing that I've seen is that Russia is attacking with older equipment in Ukraine. The newer equipment is in the back. Why is that? Are they planning something bigger and they don't want their newer equipment to get damaged in a smaller war if they're not getting ready for a bigger war? I mean, there's a couple of things for you guys to think about. I hope you guys subscribe and leave me a message below. I mean, You can tell me I'm pulling this out of my behind, but that's what I'm thinking it might happen. But I still like to hear what you guys thinking about. So please give me a message, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Signing out.